What's going on, people? Welcome back to John Sinclair TV, back again. We are going to talk about the transfer update, and we are live from Shibuya. As you can see, all the parties, the glitz and the atmosphere here is absolutely buzzing, and it's around about 10:30 local time here, and it's still full of busy. And I've got Lee with me from NewcastleFansTV, and Lee, we're going to talk about Mark Guehi, and he's been linked with us. There's been rumours, £60 million, and that's his market value. And what do you make of it? Are you surprised, or do you think this move's going to happen, or do you think that is just a bit of rumour again?
Well, there's a few journalists have jumped on it, so normally if there's one, you like kind of dismiss it. But when there's two or three, the reputable ones, the likes of BBC and Sky, and then you start to take a notice a little bit, I think it would be one hell of a signing. I think it'll be a statement signing, a centre-back position which realistically, in the next couple of years, you probably need to replace Fabian Schär, despite Fabian Schär having his best season that he's had at the club last season, but his age is against him. He's 32, but it's good competition if he was to come in. You've got Botman when he comes back fit, Dan Burn, Jamal Lascelles would probably fade himself out of the club. Schär, as I mentioned, Guehi, you've got Alex Murphy, you've got Lloyd Kelly, so competition is great, but as I said to you on my video, is if you go crazy, we don't know how much budget Newcastle have to play with. If you're spending most of your money on a centre-back, I don't want that. As much as Marc Guehi is a great defender and you risk losing out on him, I'd rather that be 60 million on a right winger. If we can do both, and we've got the budget to do both, fantastic.
Fantastic. I mean, even if you do get Mark in the club, I mean, he's going to fit in so well at Newcastle United, because, like I said in the other video, Lascelles could be on his way. Schär, because it's last season, that's two defenders gone. Dan Burn, you know what's going to happen to him. He could be a squad player at Newcastle, and you know, Sven Botman's going to be fine. And you've got Lloyd Kelly, don't forget him. I mean, he can play defender and left back as well. So, I mean, Guehi would be a wonderful signing if you do get him. And 60 million quid, I mean, for me, like you said, I'd rather put that aside on the right side of mid.
100%. But if we don't know the budget, we don't know if it's going to be a full payment or it'll be stagnated. If it's stagnated, then that might give you more options, of course. We've seen it with the whole PSR, caught up with where to sell one of our best young promising talents in Minter, and then where to sell one of our own in Elliot Anderson. You don't want that happening again every season, but we have a mini deadline on June 30th. So you didn't want that, but if it means that you can have both, then fantastic. But if it means it's one or the other, for me it has to be right winger. Despite Mark Guehi being 12 months time, and we might come back to this video in 12 months, 24 months time and think, do you know what, we should have got a centre back. But right this moment, we need to fix that right wing position, because that right wing is a championship right wing. Whoever starts, whether it's Murphy or Aimiron, they are not, we want to be in the Europe, don't we? They are not that stage, unfortunately, as much as nice lads that they are. On the other side, you're fine, you've got Barnes, Gordon. In some aspect, you might see them to flip over at the right side during the season to compensate that. But naturally, you want someone who's bread and butter, world-class talent on that right wing. And I said Nico Williams before the Euros, and he's just gone and had this amazing Euros, which everyone knows about now. So that's kind of gone out the window. I mean, his wages were another thing, don't get me wrong. But we'll have to wait and say we need that position strengthened. And there's even talks of Jared Bowen and Wemo from Brentford. That's an upgrade of what we've got. It's not elite, but it's better than what we've got, John.
I totally agree, 110%. Jared Bowen would be rated 100 million quid, and Bua as well from Brentford. I mean, Thomas Frank would love to lose this guy because he's one of the better players at Brentford. There's another name I'm going to throw you out as well, so right side of mid. I said Chiesa. I'll give you Kubo for Real Sociedad. For me, we could be the feeder club as well. You know what I mean? The way things are, if you get this guy, he's Japanese international, and here we are
in Japan.
Yes, and that'd be a money spinner if we do get this guy. Yes. He is going to be a wonderful player. And there's another player I wouldn't mind.
Just to put in, there's Brighton shirts. I've seen a few Brighton shirts around Tokyo. For that, there's only reason why. There's one reason why there's a Brighton shirts around the city, because of one player.
Yeah,
it's not because of Brighton Football Club. It's because of one player.
Matoma.
Spot on.
Exactly, and talking about Matoma, I'd love to get him. I mean, we're going to touch on that Anthony Gordon as well. And I mean, look, it's gone on for weeks and weeks and weeks.
Gordon, running down the wing. Gordon makes a Geordie sing. Gordon, where we'll go into Japan.
Well, I wish he was in Japan, but obviously he's hasn't made a squad anyway, and he's not
He'll be available for the Salah Cup, man.
100%. But for me, I mean, I'd love him to be at Newcastle United. He's got a year left on his contract. He's got a market value between 80 and 100 million pounds. For me, I want this guy to stay at all costs if we are to progress year on year, and it'd be a kick in the knackers if we do let him go. I don't want him to go. Will he stay at Newcastle United?
Yes, I think he will. I said this on our channel quite a few times. I think this season is a big season for Bruno, Isak and Gordon. If we don't get Champions League football, I think one of those three, possibly even two of those three, might go. Yeah, that's Newcastle. Newcastle were formed 10 years before Manchester United. Manchester United changed their name 10 years later after Newcastle. We're from Newcastle, support Newcastle, whereas he's not. He's a Glory fan who supports Manchester United because they win football trophies. End of.
Fat, absolute fat. I've got a lot of
I don't like people call them out when they're behind us, so get them tell.
No, it's fine, man. Absolutely fine. You know what I mean? But I've got United friends as well, and they respect us as well on social media. But that's another time. Yeah, go back to Gordon. I mean, I think he'll stay because at the end of the day, he loves that club. And I agree with you on the other video. I think if he leaves now, it'll be a year too early. He should stay at Newcastle United 100%.
But it doesn't mean to say that it's a year too early. If we get Champions League football, surely those lads will be happy. Now, obviously, Anthony Gordon, his trajectory since he's come to the club has just gone like that, especially last season. It took him 6 months to settle mind, but if he has another season like that, his value goes up because he's still got a good, 3.5 year left. Obviously, if the club were to open negotiations and put him on better wage and an extra 1.5 year contract, obviously that'll stem and quieten down transfer speculation. But do contracts mean anything? Because we talked about Mark Guehi, we want 60 odd million for a player who's got 1 year left on his deal. If Gordon's got 1 year left on his deal, Newcastle still want daft money. If he's got 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, I don't know, does contracts mean not so much nowadays?
Yeah, fat, absolute fat. It was just a piece of paper, if I'm honest with you. Let's touch on a striker we've been linked with, William Masula from Sheffield United, and £10 million plus 5 million add-on fees on top as well. That's what they want. And he hasn't scored a Premier League goal all season, but if he comes at St James's Park, I'll be back in the sky because Eddie Howe has got a record of improving the players. Wherever he gets, Joe Lindsay's improved, Jacob Murphy, Fabian Schär to a degree. I mean, look, we're going to have to bat this guy, but would you be worried about getting him?
Yes, I would. He's not for now, and I think Newcastle need that because of Callum Wilson. If Callum Wilson can play 2/3 of the season, great, but at the minute he's probably only playing half the amount of games. Don't get me wrong, Callum Wilson is a great goal scorer. I've said that numerous times. His record is phenomenal. It's 1 and 2. Since 1992, he's the second highest goal scorer in the Premier League behind Alan Shearer. So it goes to show you that he scores goals. However, that's something will happen. And can this kid go in? And we're not asking to score 10 goals. If he's going to be third choice, can he manage 5 with a couple of assists? How much game time will he get? I think he'll get more when Wilson does, because I think it'll happen. I think he'll play against lower opposition in the League Cup and the FA Cup. But no goals for a struggling Sheffield United side. Look, don't get me wrong, not many people did shine in that side. Scored a couple of goals in the FA Cup for them and went out on loan to Derby the year before that. 2 goals in 1 game against Accrington. Didn't score again all season in the league. That's worrying. Yes, he scored a couple in the FA Cup as well. He's one for the future. I've got every chance and every hope and every belief that Eddie Howe will improve him. But I would prefer someone who's done it and scored a few goals in the Premier League, whether it's the start of their career or the end of their career. But it is what it is. As you say, he pulls on that top you got on, black and white top. We're all going to cheer him on, but I'm not expecting him to chip in with 5 to 10 goals now.
That's the worry though, isn't it? Because we need someone's going to come in now. I mean, Isak has got an injury square yesterday. Callum Wilson, I don't think he'll be starting against Southampton. Then we have got a problem. If Isak doesn't start, they're going to check him out, see if he's going to be alright. If he's not, then we got a serious problem. That means we're going to hasten our priority to a strike as well, Lee.
Well, that's the thing, you don't really want Anthony Gordon playing up top, do you?
Exactly, because that would take away his attacking wise.
You've got Harvey Barnes who can play left wing as well, don't get me wrong, but I really do not want to see Anthony, because every time he plays up top I think we'll get weakened. because he's not a striker. He's so good coming in on that left flank and taking on your man, getting in his shot. I think it's a massive downgrade, him playing up top, and I don't want that this season. There's nobody really coming through the academy that can get you goals. Ben Partington doesn't look like that kid. Dylan Stevenson's obviously moved on. Trevor Sanusi's more of a winger, and he's looked very good in pre-season, so you're going to have to go out and buy. And this kid, let's just hope that the pressure doesn't get with him.
Yeah, 100%, because you don't want any pressure at the football club, because it's a massive season for Eddie Howe, because he knows he's got to get it right this season. I'm an Eddie Howe fan, but picking Miggy and Aimiron, right, and Sean Longstaff on a regular basis for me, and if you don't win games, it's not going to help Eddie at all whatsoever. But I want Eddie to succeed. But Joe Willock, I hope he's fit.
If he stays fit, we've got someone who can carry the ball and grab your goals.
Yeah, fat. I mean, I hope Joe Willock stays fit this season. If he does, then
I don't think we've got nothing to worry about centre midfield, because you've got Tonali back on the 1st of September. If you can keep Willock fit, there's 5 or 6 centre midfielders. Lewis Smiley's going to come back from injury. His brother's been involved in pre-season. I think we're stacked in centre midfield. I don't think we've got an issue there.
Yeah, that's very, very true. We've got the squad. It's just whether they're not injured or not. But we'll see what happens on that. But going back to quickly on Guehi, right? For me. I think Lee's trying to be a captain here, then, you know what I mean?
Probably picking it up, and in the background, some guitarists behind it.
Yeah, you never know. Don't get copyrighted as well. Just a quick one, right, on the 60 million quid. Personally, I'd rather spend it all on a right winger and not Guehi. It'd be a good signing, but personally, I don't think defence really is the priority. The right side mid is the priority.
Yeah, I think a right winger is needed, and there is talk that you've got Nottingham Forest wingers involved. You've got Mbeumo's been linked as well. I wanted Nico Williams, but that's not going to happen now because he's had a fantastic Euros. I know his wages are ridiculously high, so it'll be an interesting one to see who comes in. But I think even if it is someone like a Brian Mbeumo or any one of the Forest wingers, I'll probably take as well. They've been linked.
Alanga.
Yeah, Alanga, even Hudson-Odoi maybe. Well, he is an upgrade. The problem that we've got, John, is that most of the Premier League wingers are better than what we've got in that right wing, because our right wingers are championship level.
And that's the worry, Lee. That's the worrying thing for a club like Newcastle, right? We should be upgrading every single year. Miggy and Aimiron, right? I know people say have a go at us on social media, cool, but we just say how it is, because he's not good enough for Newcastle anymore, yeah? We know that, yeah? Whether people's going to like it or not, he ain't good enough. He ain't going to take us going forward. For me, the best thing he should do is move on, where he's going to be more appreciated and make himself a name. It ain't going to be at Newcastle United.
No, we tried, and it looked like we tried to get him out in January, and he was having none of it, got Al-Shabaab. So if you're forcing out a player, I mean, again, do you make him unhappy? Because let's face it, he will play if he's here. He will play. He does track back hard, he grafts, but the end quality, can't use his right foot. It's just a problem, and I think his time's done now at Newcastle. The amount of times he's outlasted people. He's outlasted Rafa, he's outlasted Bruce, he's outlasted several players as well. There's a change needed there, and I want to be doing a video standing with you or by myself come the end of August and say, we've done it, we've got a right winger, I'm happy.
100%, and I'd love to do the same as well. Get a right winger. Breaking news, we've got a proper right winger. Bosh. Lee, thank you so much for coming on John Sinclair TV, and if you'd like to give it a shout out with your channels, mate.
Newcastle Fans TV, you'll see John on my channel next year too, as we're the probably only 2 Newcastle fans left in Tokyo.
Fantastic. You know what? We're going to kick some ass as well in a minute, so bosh. Lee, thanks very much indeed, my guy, and thanks on JSTV.
Thank you very much.
Take care.